Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka B.Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend, Beauty Besties. We're taking it back to the basics. We're doing false lashes today. Yes, I'm breaking it down, my easy steps to apply a false lash, whether you are a beginner or an expert. So you know what to do. Grab your beverage. Let's get our lash on. Let go. What's going on, Beauty Besties? But most importantly, what you sipping on? Child, it's called sparkling water. I just, I was in the mood, so I made, the little flavored sparkling water. So I got a little blood orange something flavored sparkling water in this cup, okay? So cheers to you, sugar. And before we jump into this Lash 101, back to the basics, for all the new Beauty Besties, welcome on in. It's so good to see you. While you're here though, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on all this good old melanated magic, sugar. And for all the Beauty Besties that's not new to this, but you are what? True to this. Y'all know. Y'all know I love seeing y'all. Welcome back on into the room. All right, Beauty Besties, so I said, you know what? It was high time. Let me get southern with y'all. It was about high time I went down into the vaults of my YouTube channel and updated my lash tutorial because I've been getting a lot of people asking me, how do I apply a lash? And I thought about it. I was like, oh, I have a video for that. And I do, but y'all see this video? This video, first of all, your beauty best friend was like 10 to 15 pounds skinnier, and lifted, but I digress. This video is so old. When I tell you growth is real, people, and I am just so proud of my growth, not only from the better lighting, the more comfort in front of the camera, better backgrounds, but I did this video 3 years ago. Can you believe that? 3 years ago with my homegirl Sadie Joe, and she allowed me to show you all how to apply a false lash. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take the basics, we're gonna update it, and I'm gonna apply a false lash really quick with you all today. And if we have time, I actually may show you my other way of applying a false lash. Because like I said, I'm about to give y'all tips from beginners to experts. So let's just get started. I'm grabbing my lash. I'm using a M.A.C lash. This is the 76 Supermodel lash. Whatever lash you have, we're gonna use it today. I always say if you have like expensive lashes and you're still trying to practice how to put on your own lash, buy you a pair of like cheaper, like price lashes. Go down to wherever you can find cheaper price lashes, the Amazon, the Walgreens, the CVS, or whatever, child. Find you something that's not as expensive as your going out lash so you can practice with that, okay? So first step is you always wanna make sure that depending on the style of lash that you apply the right eye, right? Not the right eye, but you want to apply the correct lash on the correct eye. So for this lash specifically, it's about even on both sides. So no matter where I grab from, it's going to work for me. But a really great gauge in terms of finding the correct eye is depending on the style of the lash, it will always go from shorter to flared out if you have one of those lashes, or it might be, even on both sides. Like this lash was a little bit shorter on the outer and the inner, but you want to make sure that if you have a lash that goes from shorter to longer, you do the shorter on the inner corner and the longer on the outer, and that's your gauge to make sure you don't have the eyes crisscross and you walking around here looking like Snuffleupagus, okay? Now, if you want to look like Snuffleupagus, that's up to you. That's not my ministry today, but yeah. So I'm grabbing my lash and I'm gonna measure. So step one is measure your lash, sugar. Now, I don't know about you, if you like to do a lash looking at the mirror on the wall, straight ahead in your bathroom, stop right there. That is your first problem. You're never gonna be able to see proper placement if you're looking at the mirror right on the wall. Grab you a handheld mirror, grab you a compact, something that's gonna give you all types of degree angles. You may not like all the degrees, but at least you'll be able to see appropriately. So I have my lash. I'm looking down into my mirror so I can free up all this space. And I'm just gonna drop it on in the center here like that to make sure this lash isn't too long on the inner or the outer. I can see I actually could reposition a little bit more. So I have a little bit more on the inner and on the outer balance. And this lash fits my eye. I do not have to cut it. Yay. Now, if you do have to cut, depending on your eye, you might want to trim a little from the front and a little from the back, so that way you maintain the integrity of the lash. If it's short on the inner and gets really long on the outer, then you cut from the outer, so that way you keep the integrity of the shorter part of the lash on the inner corner. Does that make sense? Y'all still with me? All right, let's keep going. So lash is measured, it works. I'm now grabbing glue. That's gonna be step 3 for us. So I'm grabbing some adhesive, and I'm just doing a light coating of the adhesive on the actual lash, adding a few extra drops right on the outer corner, like this, and on the inner corner, like this, just to give it a little extra security in case it likes to lift on the outer or the inner. I like using either clear or black. Black is obviously a lot easier because as it dries, you know, it goes a little bit more natural against the base of the lash, especially if you have like black lashes like I do, right? So as I'm talking to you, I'm bending the lash to the curvature of the eye. It'll make it a little bit easier for you when you're trying to get it on, okay? Now here's the part where it can feel a little intimidating. Now, if you don't have a steady hand, put your mirror down flat on the counter and just stand up over it and look over it. If you can hold it like this, then you feel free to do so. But I have my mirror, I'm looking down, I'm holding my lash in the center. Now it's up to you. If you have like a lash applicator, then feel free to do so. I'm really used to using my fingers, and because my nails are a little bit shorter, it works for me. So I'm holding the lash about halfway like this. And I'm gonna start in the center to lay the lash down, working and getting it as close to the lash line as possible. Got a little glue right there, that's fine. Take your lash, stick your corner first. I like doing the outer corner first just to anchor it. So I have the outer corner on, and I'm pressing it between the fold and where my actual lash hairs come out of. Doing it like that. Gonna give it a second, and then I'm going to look down this way to stretch my eye, and I'm gonna take it, stretch it around, and press it into the inner corner. Ooh, child, I stopped breathing. I'm gonna look up, make sure I didn't glue my eyes closed, and I have my lash on. So just to recap, you can start, if it's easier, you could start in the center like I did to drop the lash onto the eye, anchor the outer corner first, then take it and stretch it and bring it around to then place the inner. Use your finger if you need to, or a Q-tip. Here's the other tip that you can do. If you know you get a little misty, if you know you're gonna have a long night, this is why I love using this type of glue with the brush. You can go back on top of your lash with a little bit of glue like eyeliner, and it's gonna give you some extra security here. So now I have a little extra security. Because it's black, it almost looks like eyeliner, right? And you can see my lash is secured. Here's where you can do two things, because I do believe in using mascara when wearing false lashes. If you want to reuse your lash, then you want to make sure you put your mascara on your natural lash before you put the false lash on. So I would curl this eye, do my mascara, then do my false lash if I want to reuse this lash. If you're a one and done type of person and you don't care about reusing it, I would then put mascara on now, so that way I can comb my natural lash into this false lash. Now, I'm going to give you a eyeliner tutorial in this next series. So I'm not doing eyeliner today. You're gonna have to come back for that one, because I'm gonna break down doing eyeliner for you all, because I told you we're going back to the basics. So I wanna show you a really great way that you can also put a false lash on without doing the strip on top of the eye, okay? We're gonna curl the lash, a pair of lash scissors, and right down the center of the lash, I'm cutting it in half. Make sure you keep the pieces separate so you know with this lash, they both work, but I have two halves. Grab your adhesive. All right, so this technique is for the advanced beauty besties. Grab your tweezers, grab your half lash like that with a little bit of glue. I'm gonna have it get a little tacky. Now, this one I like to call is the invisible approach to doing a false lash. I cut it in half to make it easier to apply, but this is gonna go underneath so it looks like it's growing out of our own eye. We fancy today. Told you, from beginners to the experts. I got you. So looking down into the mirror, we're gonna take the lash and we're gonna lay it right where our natural lash, I can't look at y'all just yet, right where our natural lash starts to grow. I'm gonna press it into the root of my lash. Use my finger now. Perfect. Make sure you comb it down. Now, I'm gonna come real close. Y'all see that? Just like that. Now, you could actually, got a little glue right there. You could actually just do the half if you wanted to and add mascara on the inner and allow it to naturally flare out. But we're going for a full-on invisible lash. Going back in with the other half of the lash. We're resting it like that. Use the back end if you need to, or your fingers. And there you have it. Look at that. Can y'all see the difference between like going underneath versus doing the strip on top? So this is like the beginner lash. If you're still trying to get used to applying a false lash, this is how I recommend to apply it. You can also use the tips that I use for the beginner side. Cut this lash in half and just do the corners like I did on top using the same tips. And for all my advanced beauty besties that want to look like their lash is growing from out of their eyes, or they have individuals, this is your way to do so as well. But this is it. We have our false lash on, and like I said, we're gonna do liner in the next tutorial, so stay tuned for that and make sure you come back. And on that note, guys, I got to go. Like I said, make sure you come back to watch me show you how to do eyeliner, right? Because we're building on this. But in the meantime, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. Most importantly, check the notifications and make sure they're turned on so you don't miss out on all this good old melanated magic sugar. Who loves you? I do. See you next time. Drop me a comment and tell me what you think about this lash. Bye.